Hey guys, Marsingin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. And so there's been a lot of speculation, of course, about what the 11th anniversary could be, especially with the releases of some of the characters that we've seen this year, and of course some of the characters that we have not seen. And so I saw this really cool custom celebration posted on Twitter by, I think, is it Kamokkan or Kamokkan? Because the last part of their name is basically like Dokkan, but it's Camo at the beginning. So Kamokkan, I think. I'll put their link in the description down below, so do go check them out for all the full details and everything. But they have put together a custom celebration with art and character details and all sorts of cool stuff for a version of the 11th anniversary that, funnily enough, is a kind of popular one that people have already speculated. I think I've even mentioned it myself on the channel. But the 11th anniversary themed around part 1 being a Namek, like Frieza versus Goku, and then part 2 of the celebration being Daima with the adult Super Saiyan 4 Goku and the adult Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. So, like I said, this is a popular speculation that has come up multiple times in the various discussions about what could be coming for the anniversary. I think it's a pretty good one. I think it would make for a good anniversary overall, getting some characters that we definitely need added to the game for the first time, right, with these guys. And then, of course, having a new Goku. I mean, we always get Gokus, right? But like a new Namek Super Saiyan Goku, and more importantly, an actual Dokkan Fest final form Frieza. So I think this would be very, very cool. Obviously, let me know what you guys think down below. But we are going to go through all of the details here of this custom celebration. I say custom, like it's not a full detailed breakdown of an entire celebration. It's the units are like the main thing, right? So there's the first part 2 LRs, the second part 2 LRs, and then there is a bonus like EX. I think it's a Carnival LR, but we'll go through those as we go. So basically the theme of the celebration is Power of the Dragon Balls. So it says on the post, characters who are involved with the magical abilities of the numerous types of Dragon Balls are set to appear in this campaign. So to start us off, we have the 2 LRs here, the Ire Towards Tyranny Super Saiyan Goku, and then the Emperor's Retribution final form Frieza. So it says recruit 2 new characters that can be Dokkan awakened into LRs. Witness Frieza's unlimited power at the beginning of his transformation, along with Goku's special Dragon Ball collection ability. Activate both characters' domains for maximum power. And we also have their I guess it would be for their domains, but we have like the transformed version arts as well. So Super Saiyan Goku, he's still a Super Saiyan Goku from base, but Super Saiyan Goku and then full power Frieza. So we got their information here. I haven't actually looked at the breakdown of like what their characters look like in terms of like whether they are super OP or, you know, like exactly how these guys would fare in the current meta or anything like that. But obviously that's just for the fun of the video. We're going to go through those here as well. So we have LR AGL final form Frieza. So his leader skill would be Z bosses, Wicked Bloodline, or Inhuman Deeds. Free key, 200% defense, HP attack, and attack 170. Oh, that's interesting. It's a switch because normally it's HP 200. So that's interesting. So the team would have slightly lower HP but more defense. I mean, I guess we went through that period when 170 leads were introduced where leader skills were like 170, 170, 130 for like different stats. So that could be kind of interesting. And then, yeah, 1 extra key, HP attack and defense 50% for characters who are Battle of Fate or Transformation Boost. So that would be pretty good. Z bosses as an introduction of a category is kind of interesting because it's literally just going to be Frieza's, Cells, and Boos, which I think are they all on World? No, they're all on Sworn Enemies, aren't they? So I'm not sure unless this includes like the bosses from the Z movies, which I assume it wouldn't. It's kind of a weird category, but it could be interesting. Super attack, Death Beam Barrage, greatly raised attack for 4 turns, colossal damage. Ultra Super, Death Ball, massively raised attack and greatly raised defense for 1 turn. Mega colossal damage to the enemy. And then we have the entrance animation. Attack and defense 100% for 4 turns, attack and defense 200% and chance to dodge 26% for the rest of battle if this character performs 6 super attacks before the 4th turn elapses. So in their first 2 appearances, they'd have to do 6 super attacks. So key 6, attack and defense 260, additional key per key sphere, guards all attacks, high chance to dodge, launch an additional attack that has a great chance to become a super. When there's another extreme class ally in the same turn, extra 160 attack, 40% damage reduction. Extreme class allies, attack and defense 40% for 2 turns, self-excluded. When attacking with 18 or more key, attack 160, launches attack super effective against all types, and then launches an additional super, and with each attack performed within the turn, attack 60%. So you have to get this, launches an additional attack that has a great chance to become a super. That has to become a super, or you get the hidden potential in both of his first turns in order to get this 6 super attacks. But that is kind of crazy. It gives him a massive buff for the rest of the battle, so it's a very interesting mechanic. When receiving an attack, he gets 260 extra defense, and his dodge chance increases if your HP is 70% or below. When facing a superclass enemy, guaranteed crits, and then has an active skill to transform after performing 6 attacks in battle, or when HP is 60% or below. So once he transforms into full power Frieza, then we have the super attacks, full power rushdown, greatly raised attack for 4 turns, colossal damage. Death Onslaught is the 18 key, massively raised attack, greatly raised defense for 1 turn, mega colossal. And then key 12, attack 1600 and defense 800%. Jeez. Okay. Attacks minus 200 for every turn passed, and no more than minus 800. So he's not going to have 800% attack. Has guard, extra key, damage reduction 50%, launches an additional ultra super. Extreme class allies attack and defense 50%. When attacking with 18 or more key, attack 260, additional super attack and attacks effective against all types. 24 key, guaranteed crits, and then when receiving an attack, defense 260, damage reduction 20% if HP is 70% or below. I mean, it seems absolutely cracked. With an active skill, destroy the planet, can be activated straight away, massively raise attack temporarily, ultimate damage to all enemies, creates the domain planet Namek destroyed for 4 turns, which is extreme class enemies and allies 20% attack and defense, plus an additional 10% attack for characters who also belong to the Z bosses category. So he absolutely seems like mega busted. And then we have the Super Saiyan Goku, Z Heroes or Super Saiyans. I mean, Z Heroes obviously would be a lot better because it's just going to be, we know with the heroes categories compared to the bosses categories, it's just going to be all the super class characters from Z, and therefore overall a considerably better category. But obviously we would have to see exactly what the category ended up like, but it would be pretty good overall because it'd have everyone from like Saiyan Saga, Namek Saga, Buu Saga, Cell Saga, all the superclass characters. So super attack, rage induced strike, greatly raised attack and defense for 1 turn, colossal damage to the enemy. Ultra super is the Kamehameha, massively raised attack and greatly raised defense for 1 turn, mega colossal damage to the enemy. Entrance animation, guards all attacks for 4 turns with 100% extra attack. Attack and defense 150 and guards all attacks 159. Guards all attacks for the rest of the battle if the character receives 5 or more attacks before the 4th turn elapses. Pretty easy in the content that we have now, especially if you can throw them in slot 1. Key 3 attack and defense 259, 2 extra key per key sphere. Randomly change key spheres of a certain type, rainbow excluded to rainbow. Damage reduction 59%. When there's another superclass enemy, that should say ally, right, attacking in the same turn. Attack and defense 159, has a scouter, superclass allies attack and defense 40% for 2 turns, self-excluded. When receiving an attack, attack and defense 159. With each attack received, 25% attack up to 100 and key 1 up to 3. So he gets a decent amount of buffs, has good damage reduction, has guard, gets a decent amount of defense when he gets hit. When facing an extreme class enemy, guaranteed crits, and then active skill can be activated upon entering the next attacking turn if there's an extreme class enemy or starting from the 5th turn of battle. Now it says transformation, but like the base part of the card is already Super Saiyan Goku, so I'm not really sure. He transforms, just it still says physical Super Saiyan Goku. So he transforms, I guess, into like a rage mode Super Saiyan, I guess, but not like technically a rage mode. Super attack, full power assault, greatly raised attack for 1 turn, colossal damage. Ultra super, angry Kamehameha, massively raised attack, greatly raised defense for 1 turn, mega colossal. I think the super attacks are the same, like they stay the same for both of them. His basic effects is it summons the Dragon Balls, key 6, attack and defense 590%, additional key for 3 key per key sphere obtained, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow, 70% damage reduction, launches an additional ultra super, superclass allies attack and defense 50%, when attacking with 18 or more key, 359% attack, when attacking with 24 key, guaranteed crit, And then when receiving an attack, defense 159%. When receiving an attack with 24 key, guards all attacks. I mean, he has guard 70% damage reduction. He already has start of turn 590%. So, like, these guys are definitely, like, the next level of power creep, which is, I suppose, what we would expect for Anniversary LRs, because these guys would be hands down the best units in the game. When an ally in the same turn as this character receives a super attack, intercepts and nullifies, all allies attack and defense 59% and damage reduction 15% for 2 turns, self-excluded. Then has an active skill that you can get once you pick up all the 7 Dragon Balls. Direct enemies attack towards this character for 1 turn. Attack 59% and damage reduction plus 29%, so that means he has 99% damage reduction. Creates the domain Planet Namek Destroyed Porunga, so Porunga will be there in the background as well. Superclass enemies and allies, 20% attack and defense, additional 10% for characters who belong to the Z Heroes category. So, yeah, they've got a lot of similarities. They are absolutely insanely busted. Obviously, it's an interesting choice because by the time Goku goes Super Saiyan and all of that is going on, the Dragon Balls have already been long used. So it is kind of an interesting, almost like a Dokkan original situation, I guess. But yeah, that's very, very cool. These guys would be absolutely busted. The whole, when an ally, like, so whenever he's on rotation, this has got to be for, his transformation has to be for limited turns, right? Because, like, I don't think it says that anywhere, does it? Because once he transforms, like, no one can take damage from super attacks, right? Because if he gets hit with a super, he's going to be insanely tanky. If an ally gets a super attack, he intercepts it and nullifies it. So, obviously, absolutely insano, mega busted. And then we go on to part 2 of the celebration for Daima, the Fateful Clash. We've got the... Now, for some reason, these ones, they didn't show... I couldn't get them into, like, a full screen version like this because Twitter is displaying them as videos. So, I can show them separately, but their arts are here. So, this is, like, the full LR art for Goku. And then this is, like, the still image art for him. And then the full LR animated art for Vegeta, and then the still image art for him. But now we can go over their details as well. So this is for the Goku. LR Int. What is it? There you go. LR Int Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku. So, leader skill, Dragon Ball Seekers, Power Beyond Super Saiyan or Goku Family, 3 key, HP 200%, attack and defense 170. Additional key 1, HP attack and defense 50% for Kamehameha or Bond of Friendship. Super attack, maximum impact, greatly raise attack for 4 turns, colossal damage, lowers attack and defense. Ultra Super, maximum key wave, massively raises attack and defense for 1 turn, mega colossal damage to the enemy. All allies attack 40% for 1 turn, which is pretty good. Basic effects, key 4, attack and defense 400%, additional 2 key per key sphere obtained, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type STR excluded to STR, which is interesting because he's an int character. Damage reduction 40%, launches 2 additional attacks, each of which has a great chance to become a super. When attacking with 12 or more key, 400% extra attack. When attacking with 24 key, attacks guaranteed to hit. When receiving an attack, defense 400%, which is insane. When receiving a super, high chance to nullify and counter, and then first time only it's a guaranteed nullify and counter. With each attack performed, attack and defense 50% up to 200 and chance to crit plus 25%, so that would obviously stack all the way up and become guaranteed crits. With each attack received, damage reduction 5% up to 20, and then damage reduction 5% within the turn up to 20. So that all adds up to be like, by the time he takes like a couple of hits, so after taking 4 hits, he would be at 60% damage reduction anyway. And then after that, like the next time he takes an attack, he's actually going up to 65, then 70, then 75. So obviously very, very tanky, which is very, very good. After performing 4 attacks, he gets a then guaranteed additional super. After receiving 4 attacks, he has guard. Active skill, World Breaker Kamehameha, can be activated starting from the next attacking turn after receiving 4 attacks, or starting from the 4th turn of battle. Raises attack by 444% temporarily, does ultimate damage to the enemy. Attack 40% and all attacks become crits for 1 turn. Attack 10% up to 40 for the rest of the battle, with each super attack performed within the turn. So that's interesting. The turn you use the active skill, he then gets a permanent buff for the rest of the fight, depending on how many supers you get in that turn, which is quite interesting. So obviously he's mega busted as well. And then we have LR Tech, Carnival LR Tech, Super Saiyan 3 Adult Vegeta. Accelerated Battle or Mastered Evolution, 220%. The super attack, Ultra Rush, greatly raises attack for 3 turns, colossal damage, lowers attack and defense. The Ultra Super, the Prince's counter attack, greatly raise attack, massively raise defense for 1 turn, and causes mega colossal damage to the enemy. All allies defense 30% for 1 turn. And then he has an entrance animation when all allies are super class or facing an extreme class, which gives him guard for 3 turns. He gets key 3, attack and defense 300%, 3 extra key per rainbow key sphere obtained, and 33% base damage reduction. Gets a guaranteed additional super. When attacking with 18 or more key, 300% attack, and then an additional super when HP is 60% or more. When receiving an attack, defense 300% and damage reduction 33% when HP is 60% or more. So he gets a ton of extra defense and then has like 66% damage reduction if we're talking like slot 1 and you're on full HP. The more HP remaining, attack up to 300% when attacking and defense up to 300% when receiving an attack. With each super attack performed, attack plus 20%. Active skill Ultra Final Flash can be activated starting from the next attacking turn. Raises attack by 333% temporarily and all damage to the enemy. Defense plus 30% and all attacks become crits for 1 turn. Defense 10% up to 30 for the rest of the battle with each attack received within the turn. So you can use his active skill, put him in slot 1, get him to tank a bunch of hits, and then he has a bunch of things. Then he has a secondary active skill, Bulma's Ultimatum, so we know what that is. Can be activated after using the Final Flash active skill once only. Fully recovers HP, defense 600%, stuns this character, and delays all enemy attacks for 1 turn. So that's interesting. So you can get a full heal, give him a full massive defensive buff, and put him in slot 1. He then can't attack, but it delays all the enemy's attacks for that turn anyway. So it's kind of like you just end up getting like a free turn, but you get like a free heal, which is kind of funny. So yeah, that was all of his details. Then we have a bonus. Part 3 of the 11th anniversary campaign introduces the Tamagamis. Collect 3 different domains according to the number of Demon Realm Dragon Balls obtained. So this is kind of crazy because, yeah, they have potentially 3 different domains. So leader skill, mission execution or joined forces 220. So they are a Carnival LR. Super attack, Tamagami number 3's trial. Raise attack and defense by 33% for 3 turns. Colossal damage to enemy, lowers attack, cycles into the next super. So the second time they super, Tamagami number 2's trial, raise attack and defense 33% for 3 turns. Colossal damage to enemy, lowers defense. And then the next one, Tamagami number 1, raise attack and defense 33% for 3 turns, colossal damage, additional 6% of enemies max HP as damage, that's interesting, and seals super attacks and then restarts the order. Their Ultra Super is the triple Tamagami Assault, greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn, mega colossal damage to the enemy with a high chance to stun. So they do their 18 key super, which I guess is like all 3 of them attacking, and then if they get additionals in the first turn, it will be, well, the first one will be Tamagami number 3, but then because part of the condition is it cycles into the next one, it means if they then get another additional, it will be the Tamagami number 2 one. So that's a very interesting mechanic and something that I don't know how difficult that would be for them to do from like a technical standpoint, but is definitely something very, very cool. So they summon a Demon Realm Dragon Ball with each passing turn up to 3 times. Attack and defense 250, additional 1 key per key sphere, 30% damage reduction, and launches 2 additional supers. Okay, so they always do like all 3 Tamagami supers in the turn then. And then I guess if you get an additional from the hidden potential, it'll be back to the number 3. When attacking with 12 or more key, 250% attack. When receiving an attack, 250% defense. First attacker in the turn, defense 150% when receiving an attack and guard. All allies attack 40%. As the second attacker, 150% attack when attacking and a guaranteed crit. And all allies defense 40%. As the third attacker, attack and defense 200%. High chance to dodge. And then all allies attack and defense 40% for 3 turns. So they can have like a Glorio sort of effect where you just float them off, and then their attack and defense obviously is going to be super, super high once they've finished attacking. Then with 1 or more Demon Realm Dragon Balls obtained, attack and defense 150 and guard all attacks. With 2 or more obtained, 150% and damage reduction 30. With all 3 obtained, foresees enemy super attacks. And then they have a Divergent active skill. Tamagami tests can be activated with 1 or more Demon Realm Dragon Balls obtained once only. So depending on how many you've picked up, because 1 appears each time they appear. So obviously the later you use it, the more Dragon Balls you'll have obtained, so the different domain you get. So with 1 or more, you create the first Demon World for 3 turns. All enemies and allies attack and defense, attack 15%, defense 30. All allies damage reduction 15%. Then if you've got 2 or more, you create the second demon world. All enemies and allies 30% attack and 15% defense. All allies launch an additional super, which is kind of crazy. Active skill 3, with the 3 Demon Realm Dragon Balls, is the first demon world. All enemies and allies attack and defense 30%. Increased damage received by 20% by all enemies and allies, but all allies can nullify super attack seal nullification, making it possible to seal the enemy super. So that's interesting. Like, we've seen like UI Goku having the ability to get around, like, and same with the STR Blue Future Goku, the ability to get around characters that are guaranteed to hit. This means that you can seal bosses that are immune to sealing, which is kind of busted. So yeah, there you go. That is the plan for an 11th anniversary with Daima, a combination of like Namek for part 1, Daima for part 2, with a special bonus part 3, which obviously technically still is Daima with the Tamagamis. This is all really cool. The units seem absolutely mega busted, but yeah, the art and everything is really cool, really impressive. I really like that idea as a theme for an anniversary. So do let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Go check out Kamokkan over on Twitter. I'll put his link in the description. And yeah, let me know what you think the 11th anniversary is going to look like. Obviously, we're not super far away from it. You know, a month from now, we'll be solidly moving into the first, you know, we'll be like a week down of January, which means the countdown celebration is going to probably start within 2 weeks of that. So we're only like a month and a half away for really being in that proper final countdown into the anniversary. So let me know what you guys think it could be down below in the comment section. Shout out to Kamokkan, go check them out, give them a follow on Twitter. And yeah, let me know all your thoughts on this celebration down below in the comment section. What events would you like to see come with it? Because obviously this just covers all the units. What, like EZAs, banner units, any of that stuff? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.